medicine might well has been an exact science like mathematics and not an art and expertise that it is in the current day. Theranostics is one such discipline that is revolutionizing the field of personalized medicine. I would like to now invite our first speaker for this session on understanding theranostics, the pathologist's role in therapy. The first speaker is Dr. Kumar Kallur from Jaideva Institute of Cardiology, where he heads the nuclear cardiology division, and he is also the head of molecular imaging services at HCG hospitals. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm a odd man out in this gathering. I'll try to make it interesting and show you what as a clinicians are we actually see the human body. In vivo chemistry we see day in and day out and how it is helping us to make a better therapy options. What is theranostics? I have a molecule and use it for diagnosis. So I have an evidence. Yes, it is going and sitting there. Now today we all talk about evidence-based medicine. Whatever you talk, you have to have evidence. So I have an evidence. Now can I use this molecule for therapy purpose also? So this is in a very simple way to describe what is theranostics. Diagnostics used for therapy is theranostics. So how our molecules work? It is going at such a rapid pace now. It is very difficult for us to keep a track in our own field. Very interesting molecules only which I will show you. And historically from where we have proceeded and where we are at present also, I will be showing you two images. This person got a Nobel Prize 105 years ago, and he had predicted long time back there are certain receptors on the cancer cells. We are going to use it for diagnosis and for therapy. And he called them as AMBO receptors. Now today the whole conference is on these receptors today, and I think he may be the person who started everything almost 105 years ago. So it is an acronym where both diagnosis and therapy are together. What we actually do in nuclear medicine, you have a cancer cell here. You have identified a target, and I have a radioactive molecule because I have to see it in vivo. You cannot. Problem with this radioactivity is it is destructive in nature. The moment you attach it to any receptor, it starts destroying it. So by the time it goes and sits into the target, it has already changed its behavior. So we want to slightly make it away from the molecule so that it will not destroy. Or it is unable, we are unable to link it directly to the molecule. We need some type of a linker. The whole research and big work, a lot of money is floating around this, and I'll be showing you some images here. So we are talking about personalized medicine now. The challenge with the modern medicine is we are able to diagnose. Most of the population now is aging. Patients are living longer. So you have to devise certain therapies where they can tolerate. As we age, certain good chemotherapy drugs may be there, but they may not be able to tolerate because of the toxicity. So if we have a targeted therapy now, we are going to minimize the toxicity, and this is the basic idea. So go back almost 6 decades, the gold standard was radioiodine. Bulk of our work, day-to-day work is with radioiodine. And he is the most famous patient in the world for theranostics. In 1949 edition in a Life magazine, they first gave him, he had a thyroid cancer. At that time, they thought just radioactivity was just detected and it was being used. And they gave, and he was like this, and 15 years down the line, he was like this. So he was the very first famous patient for theranostics, because with one dose of radioiodine, his thyroid cancer was cured. What we are trying to do in nuclear medicine is, you have a diagnostic image in their population. You have to identify a positive target. If I am able to identify a positive target with the diagnosis, So you have a targeted therapy there. In this population, the diagnostic test of the scan was negative, you cannot treat it. So you have an evidence here to treat it in a very simple manner I have shown you. So here is an image where we use isotopes for thyroid disorders. You have very poor uptake, very heavy uptake, some partial uptake here. So here it is showing that there is Graves' disease. You can treat them with iodine 131. Here also it's a Graves' disease, but there is no iodine uptake. With our imaging, even your biopsy comes, you can tell that it is a thyroiditis, it is not taking up. So you cannot treat this patient. So this is how a simple example in our day-to-day practice about theranostics. Neuroendocrine tumors, you have what is called a methiobenzyl guanidine. It is used for synthesis of certain hormones. So we have a diagnosis here, and we can use it for therapy. It's a dual purpose isotope. So malignant monocytoma here, diagnostic dose, last dose, and this is the follow-up scan. Here, this is an example of, again, thyroid, residual thyroid, iodine, what it is. The disease is not an example of theranostics. Examples here, a lot of residual disease in the neck, lot of metastasis. We give high dose of iodine 131. This is a diagnostic dose. This is a therapeutic dose. Follow-up scan, a diagnostic scan, all the disease is vanished. Example of theranostics. So we are extrapolating this, which is commonly used isotope, to other malignancies nowadays. So example here, you are doing biopsy reports, fine, but the chemotherapy is going on, they are not responding, they fail all line of chemotherapies. Now we are going to label rituximab, which will target your CD20 antibodies there. So we target, and this is the image, targeted therapy here, the disease has gone. So this is how we are utilizing the diagnostic evidence for the therapy, and we use it for theranostics. The big next thing is happening is chemokine receptors. This is known to have lot of starting points in all the malignant cascades. So lot of work is happening for chemokine receptors. It is called as CXCR4. Just now this molecule has been released. We did few studies and few therapies, and I will not go into detail. You are a pathologist, you know it better. So it does certain things on the receptor level, and what we are trying to do, and it is more expressed in many malignancies. So what we are trying to see is, we come into the picture only when your standard line of therapy is failed. What next for the patient? So we are trying to identify the target, make them radioactive, see that it will go there only. So these are the things. The Pentix-4, it is commercially available now. It is for diagnosis. Pentix-4, this complex chemical here, and now I am showing you for targeted therapy what we are doing. This is the gallium scan. It is showing all the disease. No bone marrow biopsy is required. We can clearly tell that the bone marrow is involved. 100%. We are telling now, our oncologists are not doing a bone marrow if we are showing that it is disease is there clearly in the bone marrow. We can see in our image. When we see, obviously no marrow disease is seen, because we have a limitation. Macroscopic disease may not be seen. Only then the medical oncologists now are doing the bone marrow aspiration and sending for the bone marrow involvement. Here is an example, 2 scans here, radioactive glucose, the common scan done. This is the Pentix-4 scan, and we are using, this is a therapeutic isotope combined with same therapy, and it is going and giving the therapy there. Examples, the tumors have started vanishing now. You can see all these images. I will not go into great detail here, but this is how we have started treating. Mantle cell lymphoma, chemokine receptors, very avid uptake is there, and we can use it for therapy. Examples of chemokine receptors. This is the one which has revolutionized in the last 4 or 5 years how we are diagnosing and treating prostate cancer. The prostate surface membrane antigen, it is overexpressed 50 to 200 times, maybe even up to 1000-fold in a malignant cell, cancer cell. So we have an antagonist which we have made it radioactive, and this is only one investigation. If you go into the investigation tree, a lot of tests are done. Today, with a very high degree of accuracy, sensitivity, and specificity. Now we done more than 6 prostate PSMA scans now, and this is how it will look. Even the tiniest of the lymph nodes we are able to tell, and if it is there, physical community, because 2 millimeter lymph node, 3 millimeter lymph. So because we were with this scan, we are upstaging the disease. Surgery, it becomes radiotherapy or medical oncology. So they are not liking it. Initially, there are a lot they are coming positive, and we are using this for because we inject and send them to the OT, send them the probe. So it is very easy to identify. They identify by noise. So they go near the surgical specimen. It makes a lot of noise. Take it out, bring it outside. It makes a noise. Then they are sure they excite it completely. They put the probe again into the surgical bed. They are sure that they have excised the tumor. This is an example of Theranostics. We do a lot of scans. What is the evidence here? It is going and sitting in all osteoblastic activity, and we are targeting those metastases now. And this is the one isotope which we are using it for a lot in all the therapies now. Just to give you an example, this was the one isotope which was many of oncology practice is industrial. Expensive medication, radium-223, $70,000 for a is going to die in next 8 months. $70,000. The 3 years back because time. The reason is PSMA isotope here, what we are doing right now. So this is an isotope. As I told you, you don't need 2 minutes now. You have a primary tumor. Water involvement, yes, I am showing you, and bone metastasis here. And now, where we are not interested in diagnosis, we want therapy also. This is the diagnostic isotope. So we have removed gallium and isotope there, lutetium, and we are moving on those metastatic disease. The patients are doing extremely well. Just to give an example, all the metastases have disappeared. These are the patients we call TINA. TINA is not an MFA patient. TINA. There is no alternative. When they come, when everything under the sun, all the therapies are finished, what next for them? So, but by the time they come, they are having a lot of disease, lot of toxicity accumulated because of the previous therapies. Now we have started giving them better options. They are headed. Radiotherapy plan, the cyber knife. This is expensive therapy. Now, we are directly challenging this imaging therapy modality. Very simple. I'm just releasing in the ultrasound. I have like sonologist. He can put 1 drop of radioactivity, and it starts treating. The amount of radiation it gives is unimaginable. And this isotope will not go beyond the capsule because we are homing in on the prostate surface membrane antigen, and it is an antagonist. Internalized. So this is how it's a proof of concept. It will be we will be doing like this now. So what is happening is a lot of isotopes came, and this is the new isotope. Mother of all the heaviest particles is actinium-200. Is not beyond the cell diameter because it is internalized. It causes double DNA strand break. This is what we want. Why cancer cells become immune to radiation? Because most of the time there is a single break there. So we don't want this repair to happen, and the double strand break. And people call us medicinal chemists. We started this therapy about in June this year. This one box costs 70. All the patients about 40 minutes. So we have to accumulate. Call this scientist. So these are not heard at all. These are just new therapy started. And give you an example where we are headed. You cannot see it here. He has 3 chemotherapies presented and 2 courses of therapy. He protested even during the therapy. He switched to this active molecule here. 2 therapies, the disease gone. Third therapy is prostate from 294 to 1. This is where because of this expression of the antigen. This is Kumar Kallur. I lived my life. Unfortunately, I have a metastatic disease. This was how it was seen. The disease, a primary tumor, PSA was 234. I just Googled and he knew that we have just started this therapy. He said, I don't want chemotherapy. I don't want radiotherapy. You give. Or it is still not mainstream practice. We are only doing it for TINA patients. And I said, I am a TINA. I will go please treat. One dose. The primary tumor has regressed, his metastasis have disappeared. Do you have? Okay. So the next biggest thing what we have started doing is neuroendocrine tumors. Where what they are homing in on the somatostatin receptors. They are able to tell the grade of the tumor based on the two scans, whether it is low K index or high K index. So based on this we are going to decide our therapy. One example, it is such a tiny tumor. These neuroendocrine tumors, so you are they are very tiny, very difficult to diagnose. Metastases are innumerable and huge. And here we have made it radioactive somatostatin. It is showing the primary tumor here and extensive metastasis here. And we have published, we have extensive work done. We published in European journal, well cited, and we are showing a good survival benefit. And we are clubbing it even with the chemotherapy for better therapy, better results. We take the help of interventional radiologists also. We want to deliver dose very close to the tumor so that more dose is delivered to the target. Example here, extensive metastasis, and we are giving radioactive lipidol here, and you can see the tumor is very. This is what is there, is that antibody antagonist to somatostatin receptors. And you can see the extensive metastasis here, the disease is gone because we are able to home in on only the tumor state. This is another new thing happening. We are talking a lot about PDL1 expression phenotype. Able to give based on the biopsy sample you give. But they give the therapy with nivolumab, atezolizumab, lot of new drugs are coming. Certain group of patients respond, others fail. Why? Because the report given is only on the histopathological sample. Here I see the whole body in total. Tumor heterogeneity is seen. So based on this image, we are able to tell whether expensive immunotherapy modulators or immunotherapy drugs. This is a lot about happening, but this is how we are going to tell which patients we can take and which patients we need not take. So this is based on the imaging. This is the latest, just now released about a week back, tumor activated tumor cell, cancer fibroblast activated inhibitors. And we have an antagonist for that. This is overexpressed in all the malignant cells, 90% of epithelial cells. This is probably going to make a lot of difference. This is the first image. This is how we see a lung cancer. If this is a standard PET scan we regularly do, you can see mediastinal mass, some lymph nodes here, and a lot of non-specific activity, glucose uptake here, kidney, liver, everything is seen. Look at this, FAPI. With FAPI you will be very happy. It is fibroblast activated protein inhibitor. We have an antagonist for that. And look at that amount of uptake here. Diagnosis will be made. Why we are interested? This is a therapeutic agent for us. Just to give you an example, in 10 minutes flat, we can tell you the diseases, exactly 10 minutes, not more than that, the amount of disease. And it is overexpressed only in the malignant cells. This is by the literature, is still new to me. And we are looking forward to that, about to be released. And can you use it for therapy? Yes. And you can see the targeted, the same molecule, and it is going and tweeting. And this is, we are headed for. Thank you very much.
Any quick questions?
PET DOTA.
Yes.
Lutetium.
Lutetium is a therapeutic isotope.
But in between DOTA, actually those molecules are what in your design?
They are linkers because we have to link
links,
radioisotope. I cannot directly link to the receptor because the chemistry. I need something which acts like a bridge between that radioisotope and the target.
Target in this is
DOTA is the target. It is a linker.
Okay. Somatostatin receptor.
Yes.
DOTA and then
yes.
tissue.
40, it may be the one which we are looking at. It may be the biggest thing in 2 years. It may put one big industry, they are surviving that because of the one molecule.
That's in a metastatic setting, but even in a localized setting also I think this is going to be helpful.
It is definitely going to help.
Because for example, one simple setting like primary liver tumor. So very differentiated hepatocellular carcinomas are very difficult for us to in a small biopsies to distinguish it from adenomas, hepatic adenomas. If this is able to give that
that is the malignant potential,
then it's going to save a lot of effort from pathologists. We read, but still in the end we would give indeterminate for HCC.
How much is the expense?
25,000 rupees per scan. By the time they come to us, you would have done. You would have spent even more than that.
So for the therapies?
Therapy is anywhere between 2.5 lakhs to 6.5 lakhs per session. For a prostate cancer, there is a 9-month waiting period in Germany because very few centers are doing. We are one of them. Only 4 centers in the world. So they are the University of Heidelberg. Their waiting period is 9 months.
Here, sir?
Here we can treat no problem.
No waiting.
We can no waiting. 1 month notice because these isotopes have to be custom made isotope. Why they are expensive? Because it starts from an isotope called thorium. From thorium, it is an actinium. Thorium is the starting material for nuclear bombs. So it comes under strictest security because these people have that patented the separating the actinium from thorium. Only 2 suppliers in the world, one from Russia and one from Buchanan National Laboratory, USA. It comes only when the highest regulatory authority of the 2 countries say, okay, you can send. It comes under strictest security because it is so radioactive. 1 drop, I can say in simple words, 1 drop of thorium in Krishnaraj Dam, Bangalore and Mysore will be dead. So they are all possible of doing a dirty nuclear bomb. So that's why it is very difficult to produce and also it takes time and effort. They take order 1 month in advance and we line up the patient and we have to first decide whether they benefit or not. I need a diagnostic evidence. Then we explain to the patients why they have to come. Because the life of this believe me is only 45 minutes. In 45 minutes it will causing such a havoc for the tumor. Absolutely no sense. So this is it. Thank you.
A wonderful lecture. May I now invite Dr. Nikhil Patkar from the Pathology Division of Tata Memorial Center, Mumbai, to deliver his lecture on Theranostics in haematolymphoid neoplasms.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to talk on Theranostics in haematolymphoid neoplasm. As was previously been demonstrated by the speaker, Theranostics is a marriage of diagnostics and therapy. I'm going to talk about it from a pathologist perspective, using case-based approaches where in patient management and how we integrate pathology and genomics for deciding what is the most line of treatment for the patient. The best example of diagnostics that from a hematopathologist's point of view is introduction of tyrosine kinase inhibitors into the clinic. So this was where these were bullets against cancer. They were preventive bullets. So these are really effective bullets. If you see age-related mortality rates for cancer, you can see that the only cancer in which there is really good reason in deaths is chronic myeloid leukemia. other disease, it's the same. And this slide is no different, that starting from a survival which was in the 40s, survival for the CML has gone up drastically. It is now in excess of 90%, and it is truly a success story of modern molecular medicine. Every cancer wants to be CML. What was a fatal disease already or so, and then you are cured with disease. So as we discussed in the morning, the human project was completed at an enormous virtually $3 billion, and it took 10 years for them to finish the project. But the cancer genome was largely unknown. So sequencing technologies were were rapid in the early 2000s, thanks to newer sequencing technology, model of an Illumina sequencer. At that time, NIH launched a large initiative known as the Cancer Genome Atlas. This atlas sequenced 33 different tumor types, and it made teams from all over the world for sequencing these cancers. 11,000 patients were sequenced with the aim to identify or understand better the molecular basis of cancer, understand molecular subtypes of cancer, and then of course find therapeutic targets that can be done. So as I showed this before, the first cancer was an acute myeloid leukemia through which that was sequenced, and we identified IDH1 mutations. At the end of the TCGA data, you can see that almost all cancers have some degree of mutations in them. AML, as compared to other cancers, is less molecularly complex. Some cancers, especially melanomas, lung cancers, can have hundreds of mutations in one particular case. But thankfully, blood cancers are relatively less complex. They also showed that in one particular histological subset of cancer, have different molecular subtypes. Now, what was unique at the end of the TCGA came this new concept of pathway-based classification of tumors. So, if a patient had a mutation, it provided a selective growth advantage and promoted called as a driver mutation. Those mutations did not provide any growth advantage, were called as passenger mutations. So, if you start doing informatic ways in which you can predict what is the driver mutation and what is the passenger mutation. But what they said was, irrespective of the historical subtype, there are 12 pathways into which these mutations fall into. The entire cancer mutational spectrum falls into 12 pathways, and this gave to a pathway-based classification of cancer. So to summarize, you had discovery studies which gave rise to these pathways, and what we now do is sequence these pathways for targeting panels so as to decide what is the treatment which we can do. The big promise is that just like CML, you will find mutations specific for cancer, and you can treat those cancers with specific tablets, and that cancer will go away. As of now, this has not completely happened because it is not so simple as we think. You need to add multiple drugs, or maybe these mutations or these targeted therapies become adjuncts to existing therapies, and that's current science. Let's just start with cases on what we are seeing. A 56-year-old male was in the laboratory, and what you can see is presence of these blast-like cells. They appear large, high NC ratio. There are myeloid cells present here, few erythroid cells, but overall this looks like 80% blast. The cytochemical MPO is positive, FISH is negative, karyogram shows a normal karyotype. So this looks like an AML, and you can see here on flow cytometry that you have these population of blasts. Only subset express CD34. They are mainly expressed in 117, variable for 117, bright expression, and they show some amount. We did next generation sequencing, and you can see here that we identify a TCGA insertion inside NPM1 gene. This is a very commonly occurring NPM1 mutation. But in addition, we identified 5 different mutations in this patient. One, the NPM mutation that I showed. He has a WT1 shift mutation, a FLT3 tyrosine kinase domain mutation, and he has 2 variants of unknown significance, A6L1 and a RAD21 mutation. What does this mean for the patient? So, prognostication of patient. Risk stratification today, if a patient has a FLT3 mutation, internal tandem mutation, then this patient falls into failed category. If the patient has a TKD, it has no prognostic relevance. The ELN does not say what happens to WT1 with KM1, although by itself WT1 is a poor prognostic relevance. does this mean for the patient? Today, if a patient has a FLT3 mutation, there is a whole bunch of drugs which are available with your oncologist that are being treated on a routine basis. If a patient has a FLT3 mutation, he activates either the RAF pathway or the mTOR pathway or the SCAP pathway, all of which activate transcription factors which give to differentiation, proliferation, apoptosis. FLT3 positive cancers are rapidly growing if left untreated. Now, there is data that was published in New England Journal of Medicine this year which showed that if a patient has FLT3 mutation, they took a large cohort of almost 700 patients, randomized them with a new inhibitory molecule called midostaurin. If you give midostaurin to those patients, you can see that there is a clear survival benefit of maybe 10% against patients who did not receive midostaurin. They use this to treat ITD as well as tyrosine kinase defect, as well as TKD mutations. If a patient has a TKD mutation, there is even a higher chance that this patient is going to benefit from this therapy. This drug is available with oncologists, so is sunitinib, so is sorafenib. All these drugs are multi-kinase inhibitors which are available into the armamentarium of pathologists. My friend has a wife who we found out has a FLT3 mutated AML. He's getting this drug now in her induction therapy. The drug costs 8.5 lakhs per cycle. So this is the reality of cancer therapeutics that one must say. You want to give cutting edge therapy, you have to pay really high prices for such kind of treatment. Okay, what else does this mean for the patient? There is data that was published in the New England Journal of Medicine from UK which showed that NPM1 mutation can be tracked into the course of treatment to monitor minimal residual disease. And if patients are MRD negative, they do very well as opposed to patients who are MRD positive. So the problem with this study was it was an RNA-based technique and RNA is prone to sample degradation. Secondly, this was a mutation-specific approach, which there are more than 50 different types of NPM1 mutations. For every NPM1 mutation, you have to develop a separate assay. We decided to do this in our laboratory and we made our own assay sequencing for MRD monitoring of NPM1. This is a set that shows that we could at an unprecedented sensitivity of 1 in 1 lakh. So it approaches sensitivity of real-time PCR. The next obvious question was, if you have such a sensitive assay, does it actually even matter? What of NPM1 patients who were treated at end of induction, we had 137 samples with real-time therapy as well as flow cytometry. We found that there is a stunning correlation between NPM1 mutations as detected by NGS and NPM1 as detected by PCR. NPM1 MRD was sensitive as more cases were detected here that were negative. The clinical effects of this. These are Kaplan-Meier curves which show what is the benefit in survival that you see. Patients NGS MRD negative do much better. Look at the difference in the relapse-free survival between these patients do much better with patients who are positive. Similarly, flow cytometry predict also is important to predict outcome, but the difference between these curves is not so much. If you look at patients who are flow negative, even here NGS MRD helps in identifying patients who are truly not going to relapse. Also, if you have DNMT3A mutations in these patients who have NPM1 mutations, those patients are going to do badly as compared to rest of the patients. Next, please. A 6-year-old girl is found to have ecchymotic patches all over the body and has raised a WBC count. A bone marrow aspirate shows numerous blasts which are NPO negative. Immunophenotype shows a precursor B lineage ALL. Cytogenetics is completely negative for any of the known mutations. A serial assessment of MRD is done and it is found that this patient is persistently positive for MRD. An MRD which is going to be more than 1% means inevitably under any circumstance this patient is going to relapse. And we wanted to find out why this is the case. So childhood ALL is not a homogeneous disease. As you can see here, 30% of patients, almost 30% of them have good risk cytogenetics, and around 20% of them have poor risk cytogenetics in terms of BCR-ABL, MLL, and haplodiploidy. But 30% of patients, you don't get any answer. And these patients are something that we are all interested in. The current practice of hemato-oncology in almost every oncologist setup is that you do morphology, immunophenotyping, cytogenetics, you do FISH for a number of these, and you do conventional karyotyping. There are questions with this workflow. What about rest of abnormalities by FISH? How many probes are you going to add? What is the exact fusion sequence? Because we need to monitor disease. How do we monitor disease with FISH less than 5%? What happens if there are metaphase failures? To answer this problem, we developed our own next generation sequencing assay, an RNA-seq assay, which can detect thousands of fusions in a single patient where any one partner of the gene is unknown. For example, if you know that you want to sequence ABL1, you can find any partner that is associated with ABL1. So this is a test just like FISH. I'm not just telling you that there is ABL1 rearrangement. I'm telling you what the exact sequence is, and I don't need to add a new probe. As can detect ABL1, ABL2, GFRP, we can detect it all in a single test. So in this case, when we did RNA sequencing, we found this fusion, TCF3 HLF fusion. This is a newly identified subset of extremely high risk ALL. Just to tell you this, it is less than 1% of cases, and every known child with this diagnosis of transplantation or not. This is the power of this technology, the power of diagnostic medicine, which helps counsel the patient and understand that what is going wrong with your child. So this is incredibly powerful. BALL is a heterogeneous disease. If you look at these 30% group of patients, you can see that it is not just a homogeneous disease. You have now tons of translocations and activities that are going on there. You have CRLF2 rearrangements, you have JAK2 rearrangements, you have PAX5 rearrangements, you have IGH rearrangements, and you have ABL class fusions. So all of this is important. Why is this important? Well, for starters, the WHO has a new provisional entity inside your glucose BCR-ABL B-cell precursor ALL. It has been defined on gene expression profiling by two groups. Gene expression profiling lacks the BCR-ABL fusion. Incidence increases with age. This is exceedingly important because you cannot MRD directed therapy. If clinicians, pediatricians are not about PH like ALL, because if there is MRD, I will use my therapy. Sure. But adults, you cannot do that because they withstand high amounts of chemotherapy. The second thing I ask these guys is, okay, you get pH positive ALL, what do you do to those patients? Do you wait for MRD or you start take tyrosine kinase inhibitors? And they say yes. So why is this any different? WHO further goes on to say that diagnosis is complicated, requires complex laboratory analysis, but tells you no way of how to diagnose it, which is incredibly ridiculous. So it is important to know this because other than the St. Jude's group, all of them have dismal outcome. And as I said, it's a molecularly heterogeneous entity, but it is important to diagnose this because these kinase rearrangements are actionable. 92% of patients with pH like ALL will have kinase activating fusions. They can be treated with drugs routinely available in the therapeutic armamentarium. Imatinib, dasatinib, JAK inhibitors like ruxolitinib, sorafenib, and drugs that are on the horizon such as PRK inhibitors and FAK inhibitors. But the rest of these drugs are affordable and they are available with your oncologists. RNA is an example of like ALL with IKZF1 deletion or expression of IKZF2. Third case, a 31-year-old male electrician, WC 77,000, NPO on these blasts negative. Immunophenotype is characteristic of a pH like L, precursor B lineage ALL, 19 is aberrant, 73 is 19 is bright, 73 is aberrant, 10 is bright, 20 is variable, cyto 79 alpha, 22 is positive. It's a precursor B lineage ALL. We again did RNA sequencing on this guy, and look what we found. We found the presence of a 922 translocation, not BCR-ABL, BCR-JAK2 fusion. BCR-JAK2 fusion has a rare in patients who have a CMN-like patients who have BAL-like picture. You can see here that this translocation is really rare translocations of JAK2. Being described to have translocations of JAK2. This may have an unfavorable outcome. There have been reports of patients with this fusion with myeloid malignancy with ruxolitinib and have responded. This patient, of course, was treated with alcohol, but the MRD was very high, 2.1% of induction. We validated this by PCR. So in our hospital, we are now starting a randomized trial for adults with PH like ALL to see what we can do for these patients. Next case of 57-year-old splenomegaly, high WB count, and you can see there is leukocytosis and absolute eosinophilia of 20. Chronic eosinophilic leukemia. The bone marrow is hypercellular, shows normal megakaryocytes. Some of them are micromegakaryocytes, but you can see that there is eosinophils that are there. So this patient has unexplained eosinophilia. This is a common problem that we see in our clinic, where these cases go around from every place to every place, not knowing what is the problem. How do we work these cases of unexplained? So if you get a patient of eosinophils, to do is rule out all reactive causes such as parasitic infection, allergies, pulmonary diseases, skin diseases, Kimura's disease, rule out chronic eosinophilic use. Then, if that is negative, you demonstrate clonality. If patient is CML, if the granulocytes less than 10%, atypical CML. If not, you rule. If the eosinophilia stays persistent and there is end organ damage, it's idiopathic hypereosinophilic syndrome. So, how do you diagnose eosinophilic leukemia? Show that a patient has eosinophilia. Patient should be negative for BCR-ABL, should be negative for PV, EDPMF, CNL, CMML, and BCR. All of that should be negative. No abnormality for PDGFR, A, B, FGFR1, PCM, JAK2, ETG6, JAK2. Blast should be less than 20%. The features of AL with eosinophilia. There should be a cytogenetic or molecular abnormality or blast more than 2%. In this patient, FISH was done which showed extra copy of ABL1. Okay, BCR, ABL, RT-PCR was done, negative. Clinician didn't know what was happening, decided to start the patient on hydroxyurea. No, so we said, hang on, let's run sequencing. In this patient, we could see that RNA sequencing identified ETV6-ABL1 as a cause of eosinophilia. You can see this ETV6-ABL1 translocation 12. ETV6-ABL1 is response to TKI. We did sequencing and Sanger sequencing, and we could confirm that this indeed is an ETV6-ABL1. It's rare. Less than cases reported in literature. Patients, we called up and told him, no, you have to treat it. We switched treatment. Patient is in complete response. Last case, I think I'm running out of case. The 50 BCR count is high. A picture of 19.5 200 is positive, variable 22, we both are positive, and alpha is dim. Diagnosis, obvious case of failure. We did have a panel for next generation sequencing on CL. We found the presence of 3 mutations. One mutation in SF3B, a subclonal mutation at 5%, which in the TP53 gene, and a mutation in POT1, which is a VUS. CLL we know is no longer a homogeneous entity. If patient has SF3B1 mutation, it presents an earlier need for treatment. Against, irrespective of other markers such as isolation, deletion, 17p, and so on. And these patients do not do so well as associated as compared to other patients. Second thing, it is important to now look at CLL with different. There is a BTK kinase inhibitor available in oncologists. It's called ibrutinib. It is still expensive, but it is important. Patients who have been treated as compared to alkylating treatment agents such as sorambucil do much better. Okay. The third thing to know about CLL is that guideline for treatment of CLL, which has been published in BSH, which says that every patient of CLL you have to sequence and you have to do both of them. The reason is if there is a TP53 mutation, these patients are going to do like this. They don't do very well. Okay? But if you give them ibrutinib they fall into this category. In other words, if there is a very high risk lesion in CLL, you are going to negate the outcome by giving him ibrutinib or KAPCON inhibitor. So this is again an example where where sequencing for TP53 should be done in all CLL patients, even if you are a patient or doing it yourself or fish. So with that, I'd like to say thank you. We are having a meeting on clinical genomics at the Tata Hospital in February 20th to 27, and till 1st of March. There is a hands-on mathematics workshop which is going to be taken by international faculty. If you all want to learn about it, you can visit this website, take a photo of it. Till then, you can please ask some questions. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for that very informative talk. I really enjoyed this panels. I thought it must have brought down the cost to such an extent.
Great.
But outside of a setup of a laboratory where construction of our own NGS panels would be met with significant challenges, what do you think to validate the NGS panels?
So there are two questions here. One is, how do you bring the cost of testing if you are in a standalone laboratory?
Yes.
Second question is, how do you validate the assays? So unfortunately, if you look at a pyramid of molecular diagnostics, you should never start a laboratory based on NGS. NGS is not the bulk of our work. Bulk of our work is CML real-time PCR. We get 30 samples every day for real-time PCR testing. This is followed by other tests such as then you have other tests like kinase domain mutation and so on. Most of them have been shifted to NGS. Tests are 30 samples per day for BCR and chimerism. Unless you have a significantly high workload, do not enter to NGS because it is a financial drain on a laboratory. Unless you have huge backup funding by venture capitalists, then it's not your money anyway. But it doesn't make economic sense to go for this test upfront unless you can have the burden to absorb this sort of testing, because it has got huge setup costs, it has got high maintenance costs, these panels are expensive. So one way would be for you to specialize in one disease. You can say that I would like to specialize only in lung cancer, and then everybody should refer lung cancer to me. But you should be willing to refer cases of hematological malignancies to another laboratory. So that may be one way to survive in the market. Now, as far as validation is concerned, this is an extensive process. It takes time. It took us 9 months to validate this assay. There's no shortage. You have to have alternative techniques. The one fast way to do it, like how we did, is to have two NGS assays. So we developed our own assay and compared it with another NGS assay, which is a commercial panel, and we found good correlation. So that was a quick way of validating all potential mutations that one could see. Is there any other question? Yes, sir.
The NGS results,
Okay.
are there any quality parameters that need to be kept in mind? Because most often than not, it's like these hotspots.
So that's a very good question. This gentleman asked a question: how do you know that the NGS results you're getting from X lab or Y lab, how do you know these results are legit? So the first thing that you want to look at is, so unfortunately, I should say this, but I've seen this in reports from commercial laboratories, they skip on these details. And they skip on these in ways in which you don't understand what's happening. So how do you save money when your test is costing you 20,000? The first way you save money is by cramming more samples on a sequence. You save by sequencing cost. But that is extremely dangerous when you do hem-onc malignancies because subclonal mutation. So if you are getting a report from an NGS lab, you have to ask them what is median coverage. Number two, you have to ask them for every date or every amplicon that you put in or every tile that you put in, what was the capture efficiency of each one of those probes, how many probes failed to receive a minimum capture efficiency. So in our report, we always have a statement that let's say 30 probes, 10 probes did not meet out of X number of a required minimum, and those things that you need to be kept in. So the laboratory has to be. Third is to be aware how does the lab you're getting NGS results to, what are the informatics approaches that you're using. So that is more or less becoming standardized. You have to use GAK best practices and so on. But these two things are something that you need labs to discuss very well. Otherwise, you are going to end up missing results. Then there are some false negatives in the morning, CALR deletions. You have mutations of JAK2, V617F, which are extremely notorious for being missed. So you should make sure that your patient is doing these by orthogonal techniques such as FLT3 and so on. So all of that is done. Then high GC regions, for example, CEBPA. You are not never going to get CEBPA on any commercial assay unless you have made specific changes to lab approaches. These are also these are well-known problems. So you need to understand molecular medicine as at least basics of it to know what you are missing.
One last question is about the two most popular sequencing methods. So you have the Thermo and the Illumina one. With regard to observations,
so I have only observations on Illumina. 70% of the market share is Illumina. It's not fair that I tell Thermo is rubbish or something. It is not true. There are labs which do Thermo. I don't have any experience. I'm afraid I cannot share anything.
Any further questions? Thank you, Dr. Patkar, for such a wonderful and very comprehensive experience.
Thank you for accommodating me.
It is with great pleasure that I'd like to invite the speaker, Dr. Geeta Mukherjee. She has almost had 3 decades experience in the center. She is the senior consultant at Tata Memorial, Mumbai. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to all of you. Dr. Ram and Dr. Vikas for inviting me to this program, and it's always a pleasure to come to Bangalore. I've spent almost 30 years and I feel at home here and could consider my second home. So today I shall talk more basic on IHC and some of the controversies associated with it. Also touch upon a few of the other robust biomarkers more likely to predict response to immunotherapy. So PD-L1 IHC, this is in the spotlight right now. It is predictive biomarker, especially that is required in advanced non-small cell lung cancer. Now you should know this basic thing. So this is a normal cell with PD-L1 expression. It's a transmembrane protein, and this binds the PD-1 that is present on the immune. So when this gets inactivated, and that's how injury or damage to the normal tissue is prevented. Normal modulation is physiological, but the tumor cell takes advantage of and thus escapes immune evasion. So this is a tumor cell with PD-L1 expression, and when it comes to the immune cell, the cell is inactivated, and thus the tumor cell survives. So the aim is to break this binding with any it could be PD-L1, it could be anti-PD-1, thus inactivating the T tumor principally. Now, to define a positive test, the most important thing that you should PD is variable and because it's a physiologically inducible factor. The system is very complex and constantly evolving. It's not constant at a time, so it is continuously evolving. So what happens is the changes and due to the basic the signaling in the tumor environment, and genes sort of switch on and switch off. So this is how it happens normally. Because if the treatment is more inflammatory, checkpoint PD-L1 will also get exposed to prevent damage to normal tissues. So this happens. It is a sort of a biological continuum. When you get expression, it could be negative to very high expression of PD-L1. So at no point So in the sample you are testing, it might be negative, but this is it could be positive. It's not that, so you can't say positive to give a score. And creation of a cutoff here is artificial. So you cannot cut off and say yes, 50%, more than 50% will respond, less than 50% will not. Because they have shown even with 0% positivity, I mean negative patients who have tested negative actually responded to pembrolizumab in a significant number of patients. So this is of PD-L1 testing. So because of these, PD-L1 scoring is developed based on clinical trials, where every trial used a particular drug. Each trial had a particular with a different platform. These are called the companion diagnostics. So for example, I will not go into detail of all this. 22C clone, which was used for Keynote 10, where this drug was used, pembrolizumab. Similarly, DECO 28 clone was used for nivolumab with the DECO stena. Same with Roche. Two drugs, SP and SP142. So 4 drugs competing with few more the same treatment area, and each of them requiring one IHC. It's a challenge both the pathologist and the oncologist. And mind you, there are not just 4 drugs. There are many more drugs coming up and many more clones. Patents a different clone, cell setting has a different clone. Okay, so all these have different clones. So I mean, it's totally confusing. But these 4 are being used because they have been tested on